Ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again. Cambridge Festival Day 2, you know. So, after the success of the video last week, I thought I'd show off some more stuff. We've got some more cool clone systems, some really cool actual systems coming up, including some very rare stuff indeed. I think you can see something there that's quite rare. We've got some more of that jumping acrobats fun on the old video pack. And generally all sorts of very cool stuff. There was even more awesome stuff to see on Sunday. I mean, this is just something that the museum always has on display, some of this mainframe digital PDP stuff. Look at that nice homebrew case, a Woody PC. And a bit of Commander Keen as well. Can't go on with that. Everyone loves themselves a bit of wood grain. Oh, and we're pretty much just getting right stuck into the action here, aren't we? A nice libretto, very small laptop PC. Nice little Gigatron with a bit of centipede, I suppose you could call that. The microcomputer without a microprocessor. Again, this was all in the homebrew room where there was all sorts of fun stuff going down. And on a Sunday, Adrian from Binary Dinosaurs had a lot more of his Atari stuff actually working. You see the Mega ST, but the first thing we're actually going to show you, I thought it'd be nice to have an interview with old Jason FITZPATRICK.
Of course, anyway, here, ready? I think
Just in front of all this.
Yeah.
Crap. Shouldn't say that on camera.
Alright, so this is Jason. He's a boss man here at the Centre of Computer History. I guess,
Kind of.
sort of thing.
It runs me rather than I run it. But anyway.
Yeah. So when did you start doing the festival?
So this is the third year.
Yeah.
So it started off relatively small, few of us, volunteers just sort of doing it directly. Second year got a bit bigger, and now we're at this size. So pretty much maxed out the space that we've got, really.
Yeah, no, there's lots of cool stuff here this year.
There
This
is.
is the first time I've been.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, obviously I've been to the various like computer nights and that. Seen
Yeah. No, you've done a lot of events here, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But no, this is something that's a little bit different for us because obviously our stuff's out on display a lot, but this is our chance to then just open up the place to all the collectors and all the community that's out there and give them a chance to show off their stuff.
Yeah,
and it is amazing stuff.
I know there's so much stuff that's like one of a kind. Or
Yeah,
like,
absolutely. I mean, the Quantel paint box over there are just amazing. The heat kit system that is on display over there, they're just systems you just will not get to see unless literally you go around these people's houses. You know, it's brilliant. So it's really nice to have it here.
Alright, totally. So, has anyone ever got a bit lost or anything? Lost any stuff?
No.
Kind of a
No, it's really good. The people that come to this museum, I love them all because a lot of people say, why do you have all this stuff out? And people might break them or walk away with bits of them or whatever. Nobody ever has. Now I don't want to sort of bring it on.
Don't want to be in a hoodoo, but yeah.
You know, people don't. I think if you put this stuff out on display and trust in people that they're going to respect it, then they kind of pay us back by doing exactly that. So I'm really impressed that the public come along and they just use the machines. They're gentle with them, and they don't even think about taking anything. So it's really good. So now this lot is all here. It's all pretty safe, and you've got a like-mindedness. These people want you to come along and have a go.
Everyone's boring and they don't to have like screwed around with kind of like played around like so they can chat about it.
Exactly. Yeah, and they're happy for you to have a look inside and whatever within reason. So that makes it a really nice atmosphere.
Yeah. And it's such a wide range as well, like having a lot of like the homebrew stuff as well, and you have them like a lot of the hobby projects.
Yeah.
It seems like everyone's kind of come together. Like you got people with a lot more more console stuff, like the console clones. I mean, that's just something that a lot of time, like perhaps in a general museum setup, you just wouldn't see.
No, I mean you wouldn't put them on normal display. You might have one or two. We've got sort of a couple of machines there from around the world and various clones, but it's not the main part of the display normally.
No.
We are thinking about doing one actually, about sort of various machines that have been cloned around the world. So that might be something for next year. But yeah, I mean the wide range of things is brilliant, and that's what makes this event quite special. So it's interesting the way the museum's developed, because when we first opened up, we had a lot of fairly unusual machines out. But for the general public, they just walk straight past them because they don't recognise them, so they weren't interested. So we've slowly made the display much more about all the machines that the general public would recognise, all the big names. But it means that to get out some of those other more uncommon machines, so we've got the Perk over there, and various other systems that we don't normally have out. We have to do a special event like this to do that, so that it attracts then the collectors, the enthusiasts, and everything else. And we just want to do more and more of that.
So what's coming up for the museum? I mean, you've just got full accreditation not too long back.
Yes, so we're an accredited museum now, which is fantastic. We've had £1 million donated, which has allowed us to actually buy this building.
Awesome.
So Mike Muller from ARM has donated the money. That level of money donation attracts gift aid. So gift aid of another $250,000, and then we have a loan to actually sort of top that up so that we can buy the building, which is what we've done. So we own this place now.
That's awesome.
It's amazing. Well, it's going to set us up for the future, because in terms of accreditation, one of the parts of accreditation is actually saying that the collection is safe. Now, if you're renting somewhere, it's not that safe.
Risky,
because obviously if you stop paying the rent, then you're out, and so is the collection. So now we're safe. The collection is here. It has a permanent home. And that means that anybody donating equipment is safe in the knowledge that it's now. It was safe anyway, but now owning the building totally changes things.
That's awesome.
It's brilliant.
Have you thought about using that donation to make a few people here some sly offers and stuff?
That's the thing. I mean, then it was scary when you get that kind of money coming to your bank account. You see that many zeros. I mean, I have no idea what that money is. Who knows what £1 million is? But all that number, I was actually scared when it hit the bank account. I thought, right, I don't want this money. I want it out with the person that we bought it from. So it wasn't our responsibility. But that's done and dusted. And we've got the building now, and we're just going to sort of live here and develop it over time. So that means we can put some more effort into the building now, and over time keep developing as we have been doing.
Awesome. Well, thanks for chatting, Jason. Always a pleasure.
Our pleasure. Thank you very much for coming again.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah.
So it's great to have you here.
I remember last time.
Yeah, to be honest, it wouldn't have been right if I did these Cambridge videos and didn't have a chat with Jason Fitzpatrick. He is the absolute Donny of this museum here, and it's so awesome that they've really managed to, get their stuff together, and they're pretty well set up now, especially with that big gold donation. So yeah, he's an absolutely lovely guy. Here's something quite cool coming up. This is a lot of the stuff from the guys at Bletchley Park. And one of the most awesome things to have that me and Quan were kind of cooing over is this really cool plotter here. You can kind of see it working away. And what I'm actually going to do is just shut up and let you hear the sound, because I think you'll agree it's oddly satisfying.
It's having to make these characters up because it's not in its font. Yeah, these are being done just by...
So these are done,
These are just extra characters belonging to. At the moment, it's about to do the HP logo just on the near side of that. And if you look at how fast the pen moves there, it is quite extraordinary. Just when it finishes doing this, it'll now do HP, the well-made characters, and then it'll draw the little black boundary around the left and right side. This time it's nice. I don't even know whether that's natural video.
It's that's amazing. Thank you.
Does that help?
Yeah, that helped.
Yes, I think you'll quite agree. That is indeed a very, very satisfying thing. So, up next, as we look through more of this very nice digital stuff, our old friend Richard was back again, and this time he'd bought some monitors so that he could actually show some of his clone machines, his clone consoles and computers. In action, he had a clone Mega Drive up. I think you might have seen some of the... he had some quite rare Mega Drive games on display. He had Mega Turrican, the Wily Wars, showing off some cool stuff. That record is on some sort of clone cart. But Again, I had another nice, fairly lengthy chat with him because he had some cool cartridges, including a rather weird Rockman.
It says Rockman 5 with a Mega Man 4, Rockman 4 picture, but it's actually Darkwing Duck. Hacked. I'll show you that.
Interesting. Okay, let's have a look at that.
You'd be quite disappointed if you bought this in Russia.
Yes, and then
Actually, this was sold to me from Malta.
Malta. Oh, okay.
Maltese did get micro-genius machines. Working? Not sure it's working. It's waking up. I'll try a different Famicom in a minute. I can't tell if that's working or not. I've been curious since last used it. It's not fair. I'm really upset with it. Yeah, it's a pirate clone of Rockman 5, but it's really, that's Rockman 4's graphics. It's actually Darkwing Duck that's been packed with Mega Man. There we go.
There we go.
Rockman 5. We'll see what kind of Rockman 5 this really is.
You need to copy it quick before you die.
It's definitely been done. It's okay, it's out there. So this is what you've got if you build this game.
So what was this? Some sort
That's
of...
an Argentinian.
Yeah, I'm going to say a foreign one.
Yeah. The colours are all wrong.
Yes, everything is really.
But it doesn't have many of those sort of dots. The colours are dots. It's actually quite sharp.
So if that one's Argentina, what's this one?
Also, Actually, it's kind of more reliable.
It's more reliable.
Yeah, it's perched on top of two more Portuguese looking at the absolute mess that the CCAM daily makes displaying
I just love him just coming down doing the plan. I am Darkwing Duck when
yeah, it's like
yes. You're actually not.
no, I bought the real Rockman 5, so I have both. Eventually I'll collect the whole set, the whole Mega Man set. He's very rare on clones. It's one of those situations where he's actually more expensive on a clone cartridge than a genuine Famicom cartridge. Usually they're much cheaper. This Wrecker does not cost anything like as much as the real Wrecker does.
Oh yeah, that game's very
And this Crisis Force also, those were about $20 each. So if you want to play it on real hardware and you're not talking about an EverDrive, then why clone stuff?
Okay, so this next thing here is amazing. I didn't actually get a chance to chat to Lee Fellow, and I'm not talking about the Amstrad thing in the background. This is a IBM PC 5100. You do not see one of these every day. This is IBM's first personal computer from 1975. Yep, beating out the probably more famous stuff that they did. This was actually marketed at the time, believe it or not, as a portable computer. I mean, I suppose you kind of look at, there's stuff from like the early 80s. I mean, we saw the SX64, there was an Osborne 1 kicking around somewhere as well, and we kind of laugh at those being portable. Well, that thing there, from what I have read up on it, weighs 55 pounds. So that's really stretching the definition of portable. You've got to be, I don't know, young Paul Sigmason to be carrying that around with you on your daily treks, innit? But yeah, again, this is something you don't see. This cost, well, for a 64K model, I was looking up, a 64K model of this in 1975 money, was just under $20,000. So you can imagine just how much that is in today's cash. Pretty amazing, I suppose, when you think of things like just how much stuff like this cost back in the day and how much the memory cost. I mean, $20,000 for 64K rather in 1975. Yeah, you can see the little display. This guy had a couple of other cool little rare machines on display. Something also rare that the museum literally got in that day is this version of Elite. Like, I'm sure about completes their collection.
Now I turn my mic on, so.
The thing is, the Einstein's a quick loader. Right, here we go. Ready?
Yeah, that's good. So this is Elite on the Tatung Einstein, one of the rarest of all the versions. Literally just in the computer museum right now, just been donated. Might just complete their set, because as I've seen, they have quite a lot of Elites, as you might expect.
It looks like they literally converted the Spectral one.
Yeah, it looks very much Specky one. Which probably isn't a surprise,
Taurus
yeah.
on the title screen and
Yeah. Not really a surprise, I'd suppose, they would be displayed. I mean, there's a few little differences, though. There's a few little things different, there's a few more colour. Oh, have a sneaky inside. That's hard to do with one hand. There we go. Obviously, yeah, this is a complete copy. You got your manual, you got your dark wheel, you got the control guide with specific controls for the Einstein. Use keys of Spectra version with following changes. Oh wow, nice. Very, very nice.
Tatung Einstein. I love that name, by the way. So, and we have another nice little cool look at the DAI here and the Pencil 2. Again, two very early examples of microcomputers, like we're talking like late 70s here for this stuff, in beautiful condition as well. Lovely little things. Look at that logo. Our next little item is actually something that kind of surprised me in the homebrew room. Bulletin boards. Still a thing.
Running on CPC, and then I run a small Amstrad BBS.
Oh, nice.
But it's not got any users yet.
Yeah.
Using it to test and demo with.
Cool.
I've got my own little modems that I made plugged in back there. Doing it for 6800 baud. Nice and nippy fast.
Nice. So when did you get started with all like the BBS stuff, like from the beginning?
Back in the day, I was on 1200. And I've overtaken off with my parents because I dialed into German BBS.
Yeah.
The number was in the magazine and stuff. And I dialed in and I got 2 or 3 phone numbers without realising.
Wow. Yeah.
So that's when it kind of ended for me, and then I came back to it again.
Yeah, you just don't know what you're doing. So these are, is that a real newsfeed?
Just disconnected that to charge my phone because little modems use USB, micro USB power, so I kind of run it out of ports. But it's kind of, there's a new service next time that's been set up for Spectrum now.
Oh, right.
So that's like a new due date Prestar type service. And there's a couple of other ones.
Oh, wow.
Cloning what we kind of used to have on Prestar.
That's really sweet.
And then there's loads of BBSs all the time. There's a big website called BBS Guide.
Yeah.
Hundreds of different ones for every platform that we use and Commodores.
That's crazy. I wouldn't think it's still, but obviously, there's still got something going.
Yeah, you've got Spectrum, he's got BBSs and
Take them out of the payroll. So obviously, the next step is to get an email up and running, isn't it? Surely.
Yeah, well, it's built-in serial terminal functionates on there, so you can kind of go to there and set the modem up and configure it when it's in. If my battery didn't keep
If it wasn't dead. Yeah. Got a few fleeting.
It's pluggable. I've been telling quite a few people I sometimes take it into a coffee shop like Costa or somewhere and go on the Wi-Fi. You know. So yeah, one of those. But you can, if you fit a GoTech in, you've got your power source for your micro USB cable for the modem then, and then obviously just the serial port in the back where it goes in there. So some of the different machines obviously have different serial pinouts, so you just might need an adapter or something like that before.
So how many weird looks do you get when you take that into a coffee shop?
A few have to hide in the corner at the back or something to try to avoid. Yeah.
That's so cool. It's so cool. Better than that.
Yeah, it's just trying to give them a purpose again. You know, obviously I play lots of games and things like that, but it's nice things. The more things they can do, the better.
Oh yeah, you don't want to. Yeah, we don't want to lose like, all the other stuff they could do aside from just playing games.
Yeah.
That was a lovely little chat there, and to be honest, anyone who carries around the Amstrad and takes it to coffee shops is clearly a very awesome dude, so massive props. Now, I'm sure you're all wondering how Jumping Acrobats resolved itself. We all were having a bit of a go, and I had to go here.
Last 2 lives. Last one now. 779. 783.
So, as you can see, I can now officially call myself the champion of Video Pack Jumping Acrobats for the Retro Computer Festival 2019. I'm sure you're all impressed. And now here is what you have all been waiting for, the last really awesome thing I saw at the museum. Oh my lord.
And just when I think I haven't seen enough rare computers this weekend.
Oh wow.
That there is a Commodore 65. Wow. How did you come across this amazing little kit?
Believe it or not, I was offered it back in 2001. There's a chap in Texas called Bo Zimmerman, who's pretty much Mr. Commodore as far as collecting things.
Yeah.
And he knew that I was after one of these, so he emailed me one day and said, "I found another one, so I've got a spare. Do you want this one?" Like, oh, wow. Go on then.
Yeah.
So he sold me it for...
Yeah, I'll take that.
He sold it for $800.
Yeah.
And I'd just been made redundant. I'd paid off all my bills. I'd bought a car. There was a bit of spare cash floating around. So I was like, rude not to.
Yeah, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? I mean,
why would you not?
Just
so it's number 31. Unfortunately, somebody's broken the warranty seal, so I'm a bit... Might be me, actually.
Can't get it replaced.
This one actually fell out of Commodore during the fire sale in 1994. A lot of reflections. It's a mirror.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for cleaning it out.
It used to work. It actually expired in 2005.
Right.
Expire spectacularly?
No, it just stopped working. I normally rail against doing that because it's pointless for a lot of things, but there are only tiny caps in here. They all tested high for ASR, so I bit the bullet and replaced them because I've logic analysed the 4510 CPU. The VIC-3's running, but it gives a classic not correctly booting Commodore screen of crap, which does change when you hit the reset key. So reset circuit's working, the processor's running, something is stopping it from actually executing code. So I I discovered quite by accident that they use the same RAM chips that are used in the C64C. So I can desolder the ones from here, stick them in a 64C, see if it still works. And if it does, then damn. So it means there's something else wrong. But it's fairly, apart from the unique things of the CPU and the VIC-3, and between revisions of the board, the CPU revisions change as well. So even if I had another board, I couldn't necessarily nick the CPU off it and put it on another one. It's not going to work. So I'm kind of hedging my bets on the RAM. Well, it does horrify people when I say I'm working on this. And you're like, what? You're taking a soldering iron to it? It's like, well, yeah, it doesn't work.
Whether it works or even if it doesn't work, it's still worth a lot of money.
It did work, so I want to make it work again.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. The thing I don't understand about this whole thing is why it exists.
Yes. That is a very good point.
The marketing,
it really shouldn't exist.
Well,
there's so many designs that they didn't release.
This being one of them.
Yeah.
I mean, the marketing idea was to build on 10 years of Commodore 64. So you've got all the 64 games, all the knowledge. You wanted to capitalise on that, but give them something extra to play with. So, okay, let's put another 8-bit CPU in it in 1991 with 16-bit extensions. You can let it address 4 meg of RAM, 2 SIDs for stereo sound, floppy drive using the DOS from an 8250 PET floppy drive, which they used because it was the least buggy. It's nice of them. But the biggest thing is if you're making a machine that's going to be 64 compatible, why not do what you did with the 128 and do it in hardware? Commodore 128 has a 64 in it in hardware. So when you type Go 64, you get the Commodore 64. This, it emulates it in software.
None of the games really run.
It did, but slowly. And if you did anything dodgy, it's really 99% compatible.
Yeah.
So demos...
Cool games don't work and the demos don't work.
No. So you think, okay, cartridges. 64 cartridges. So no, let's use the slot from a Commodore 16.
And meanwhile, the Commodore engineers had done all this amazing stuff that was for the future.
So you could sell it.
Work on
Sell an adapter. It's the Apple way. Change the slots.
And meanwhile, the ST had been out for 3 years.
Yeah.
The Amiga had been out for 3 years. Even I had an Amiga 500 before this was supposed to come out.
Oh yeah.
So none of it makes any sense.
What a fantastically rare piece of crap.
And all of them, despite it being a purely American design, they're all PAL machines. They're not NTSC. I don't understand
Was
that
it going
either.
to be for the European market?
Your guess is as good as mine.
Germany, maybe Germany.
But no, I mean, we obviously had the Amiga 500 at that point.
Yeah, and it was popular.
So why carry on with this? It was canned in '91, and obviously Commodore went bust not long after that. 94.
Yeah.
Well, this auction was '94.
Yeah.
I believe. Yeah, I think it was a '94 auction. So.
Yeah. God bless Mediale.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for showing me that. It's awesome.
No problem.
A freaking Commodore 65. Now that was a perfect way to finish off the expo. And we have some nice little shots of Cambridge here. I love spending time in the city. There was so much stuff this weekend at the museum that I've never thought I would really get a chance to see in the flesh, whether it was Bulletin Boards doing their thing, or that Commodore 65, or that IBM. So much amazing stuff, and such a fun weekend as well. I want to, spread love to Quan, to the Adrians, to all the guys who I chatted with. You're all awesome, and obviously to Jason as well. And yeah, well, that is about it for this video, so I want to thank you all for watching, and yeah, bye for now. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, then hey, why don't you like it and subscribe and have a look at my social media. Follow me on Twitter or Facebook or wherever the social media things I have on there are. Or, if you really want to get where the action is, you could get to my Patreon and join this list of awesome people here. Alexa Jones-Gonzalez, Andrew Dalton, Andy Capt, Asobi Kwan DX, Brian Hennigar, Chris Pode, Cody Spooner, Conrad Pritchard, D. Zalior, Rimwan Sutter, Daniel Briggs, Dave Cork, David Rose, Dinty76538, Dustin Cooper, Gary Samaden, Geordie Alex, Ian Roberts, James Brown, Jason Stevens, Jace Alexander, Jeff Ladd, Lee Norris, Lukas Kuligovsky, Mateus Gramzov, Martin Pataki, Potter Margel, Renbimon, Rusty Kelly, Samir Alamar, Seth Robinson, Simon Gulliver, Tim Wald, Wilbo, Yerka Operator, and Zach Roach, and all the rest of the community. Thank you, and goodbye.